The Grizzlies 9-4 entering the game tonight, come away with a couple of close wins to a close loss to the Celtics. Aaron, I want to know, how do you grade where the Grizzlies are right now, considering what we've seen thus far? Obviously, the Wizards game not with counting.
I don't think that the Celtics loss was something that was so surprising to everyone. Obviously, we're hoping that they, continue to play at a high level as they have. But so far, so good this season. The Mavericks loss, that was probably the worst loss of the season. And then the two back-to-back losses to the Utah Jazz team that is kind of, doesn't really have that star power. That's something that can be a little worrisome. But so far, my biggest complaint about the Grizzlies this season is those big leads that they get, and then they let them dwindle towards the end of the game. I think that's where their youth shows, and when we get into playoffs, because obviously they're going to make it there if they continue to play at the high level that they're playing, that's what they need to keep from happening. If they get up big, they need to solidify that lead and continue to play at that high level.
Yeah, and I guess that's where you see some of that youth come in with the 5 rookies, and really more like 2 or 3 rookies that are playing regularly. But Desmond Bane had kind of said it, that they are such an experienced team with the guys who have been there for a little bit, that even when they shrink leads, that they can kind of pull them out. But that's not going to happen every time. Drew, what's been your kind of opinion? What's your grade on the Grizzlies?
The Grizzlies get an A from me. I think the way that you have Ja and Dez, both of them have been spectacular, but they've been spectacular in games where they've needed the other player to play well. If Ja doesn't play well, Dez can have a great game. If Dez doesn't play well, Ja can have a great game. Now you have 2 true closers that can go finish games for you. And you need that in the NBA. It's not enough to have just one superstar if you want to make it deep into the playoffs. And we've really seen Dez come along, bring his game inside the three-point line a little bit, get to the basket more. He's been really, really good at driving the ball this year. He's good defensively. So I think the combination of those 2 guys has been really encouraging for the Grizzlies so far. You're still waiting to add Jaren Jackson Jr., so to be sitting here, 13 games in the regular season with well above 500 with injuries, you got to be feeling pretty good about where they are at the moment.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. No Triple J. Still haven't seen Zaire Williams. And I think one thing you did mention is kind of having an extra star. Even when Des and Ja don't necessarily play well, we've seen Dylan Brooks have some pretty solid games when they need him. A 20-point game, the last round out, and then, of course, that 30-point game he had out in Utah. So he can definitely, provide a spark as well. Friday night, the city was buzzing because the Grizzlies dropped some new uniforms. Their 2022-2023 all-black unis. The boys chromed out and iced out. Desmond Bane, I talked to him. He said he's a fan.
Toughest jerseys in the league. I mean, it's some character behind it. It's more than just a jersey. It represents our city and represents what we're about. So, it's like when you go home and you get a home-cooked meal from your mom or your grandma, it just feels a little more special just because there's some love behind it.
All right, Drew, you've been all over the City Edition unveiling. What's been kind of your opinion? What can you tell us about the uniforms?
I mean, I love the uniforms, and I think it really fits the Grizzlies' style. 5 of these guys have diamond pendants, and you see them wear them into the game. When they walk in, they're showing them off. And so, it only made sense to have that on the jerseys. If they're going to have the ice off the court on the sidelines, you might as well bring it on the court when they get out there and play. So I think it really fits the Grizzlies' style. The fan reception has been extremely positive. I know the Grizzlies are really relieved that they were embraced so well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm a big fan of these. Of course, they mold hip-hop and basketball, and you see the hip-hop stars sitting courtside, and they've got the pendants on. You see the players walking in the game, they've got the diamond pendants on. It's just awesome. Like, it's been really cool to see them sort of bring that idea onto the floor, and it's been really embraced.
Yeah, that merger is kind of a perfect example. NLE Choppa walked him out the first home game of the year, and you can just see him draped in all those chains. You can just tell he fits right in with what they do. Aaron, you're a native Men fan. What have you thought about, that merger that they've had with the uniforms?
So honestly, I'm never so hyped about the visual of uniforms. I don't know why that is, but the close-up pictures definitely helped me to drive it home. My thing about the uniforms that I like so much was what Drew just mentioned, the integration of the fact that the meaning behind everything, the M on the belt line stands for the Memphis Bridge, and the chromed out, detail in the jersey, all of that and is about the hip hop culture, which so many people discount Memphis for how much of hip hop comes out and hip hop style across the country comes out of Memphis and definitely is encouraged by Memphis. And so I was really happy to see they're young, they're youthful, they're exciting, and I like the fact that they definitely put that inside the jersey design. I think that was a really good way of tying in who Memphis really is to who Memphis can be on the court.
You can't even get a Desmond Bain City Edition jersey. It's already sold out. So if you want one, you got to hit that team store. The Grizzlies will rock the City Edition uniforms 19 times this year, so we'll see plenty of them the rest of the season. Drew, we appreciate you being here, buddy.
Yeah.
If you got anything you want to know about the Grizzlies, you check out Drew Hill on the Daily Memphian. Aaron will, of course, be with me a little bit later on in the show, but we got some other stuff that we got to talk about.